Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast. And welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
Hello there, /x/files. Lately, I've been thinking more and more about something that happened to me when I was a child, and was wondering if anyone else has experienced any kind of similar event. And if not, what is the weirdest, most perplexing event that has occurred in your life? Be me. Be about 6. Parents are stressed and arguing, and Dad asks me to go outside and play. Run into nearby woods and start playing army. Hear voice in the sky. Tells me that Brent is dead. Nope. .jpg. Run home scared shitless to tell Mom. Old man next door passed away and is being taken away. Turns out his name was Brent. To this day, I have no explanation for this event, and it still bothers me.
Be in basic training. Drill sergeant assigns me guard mount, so me and a battle buddy are sitting on some stumps near a giant field light. Munching on a ranger bar I smuggled from my MRE. It's very quiet in the camp, wind lightly whispering amongst the trees and around all the little tents we have. As I'm chewing, and Buddy is yawning so hard he cracks his jaw, the hair on the back of my neck rises up. Buddy has stopped yawning and is squinting off into the darkness. I kind of lean over and look where he's looking, and there's some shadows bobbing around in the distance. We both stiffen up as we hear this voice that sounds like leaves rustling. A dry, crackling voice that's none louder than a whisper. The woods. Woods. Hush, hush, hush. I'm no longer hungry, and Buddy is shaking because the voice is unsettling. Woods. The woods. Hush, hush. Lost in the woods. Woods. Shadows stop at the tent perimeter, and we still can't make anything out. Suddenly, a drill sergeant is beside us with his sidearm drawn. He whispers, "Privates? What the fuck are those?" We both stay silent as we stare at these shadows. Woods take them. Forever. The woods. Forever. Forever in the woods. One of the shadows bobs forward, and we get a glimpse of something resembling a twiggy hand before the drill sergeant fires a shot towards the shadows. Twee! Ears are ringing, but I can still hear these things shrieking like banshees. All the drills are up and yelling. I roll out of the way while the other drill sergeant fires more shots and advances down towards the tents. Other drill sergeants don't even ask questions, draw their sidearms, and start opening fire into the darkness. Yelling, banshee howls, then sudden quiet as the drill sergeants stare at the woods. Senior drill sergeant bellows, "Everyone up! Time to leave!" And that's how the U.S. Army made an entire company sign a gag order.
Be at my friend's house. Been best bros with this guy for years, so I spent a lot of time in his house. House is haunted up the ass. His foster dad practices Santeria. Middle of the night, go to his kitchen to get food. His GF lives with him BTW, and she is a psychic. I was skeptical at first, but I've seen her do some shit. So I'm walking back to his room after getting food in the dark. Then I notice something. There's a room that his foster mom always paints in. Always had weird vibes about the room. I at first didn't know what I was staring at until it became clear. It was a face that looked like a Japanese mask. It was in the darkness looking at me, moving its head. I wasn't scared because I have become used to the shit I see in his house. I go to my friend's room and ask his GF, "Hey, have you ever seen anything weird in that room?" She replies, "Yeah, there's an entity with a Japanese mask there." The face looked like the picture I posted, but it wasn't chubby like the pic, and it didn't have fat lips, but the slit eyes were there. I have more stories of that house if you guys are interested. One of them involved a demon. I live in Miami, so there aren't many woods to actually camp in that aren't filled with mud. Camp at some woods with my friends that don't have much life in them. Probably a raccoon or a bird will be spotted seldom. I've heard stories of occultists that usually hang in those woods. I don't know if what they did caused the woods to be this haunted. Every now and then you would hear strange noises. But what really got me and my two other friends was a little girl's voice that we kept hearing in our camp. We were in a tent, so we couldn't really see what was going on outside. Every time I would go outside to check the girl's voice would stop. It eventually left, whatever it was, and my friends wanted to get the fuck out. Here's another one. This story came from my friend who was alone in my best friend's house. According to him, be in room on computer, waiting for friends to come back, alone in friend's house. Start to hear a conversation coming from the kitchen. Damn, they're back already? Leave room to go talk to them. Okay, so when you're walking to the kitchen, you first have to turn a corner to see the kitchen. Turns the corner. No one there and voices stop talking. Nope. Runs back to friend's room and locks the door. Begins to hear the voices again, but next to the room door. Nope, not today. Raises music volume on computer. Eventually, voices stop. 1 hour later, he's already calm and gets hungry, 'cause he's fat. Decides to be brave and opens the door, looks down the hallway, sees man in straight jacket in feeble position rocking back and forth. Nope. 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 Decides to make a run for it. Calls us and asks, when are we getting home? Tells us a story. He leaves 'cause fuck that. We go inside and hear typing coming from friend's room. Go to his room and typing stops. Suddenly we hear a loud bang from the living room. Painting has flown off the wall. Then paintings start flying off the walls from different parts of the house.
This was 8 years ago. B19 had my first job at a shitty place for old people. I'm socially handicapped, so I'm scared of going out at night to work. Especially because where I live, people get mugged all the time. And the first time I got mugged, several guys jumped me and beat me to shit after they found out I had no money or a phone. So I was nervous. One night, while I was in the bus that takes me real close to my job, I saw two crackheads chatting with each other about random shit. They were obviously going to mug all of us because I could see a big-ass knife in one of their pockets. I don't know if she was there before, because I don't look at people and I was still scared, but one girl grabs me by the arm and tells me to get off the bus with her. Like I said, I was the beta S chud ever, so I do what she says, and we get off at the next stop. She tells me those guys looked sketchy and that we should just walk together or pay for a taxi. We call a cab and stop at my job first, then she leaves without accepting my money. The next day, I spot her in the same bus and she walks towards me, tries to start a conversation. But since I don't know shit about anything, it's mainly her talking while I listen and nod. She's 21 years old, sorta chubby, black hair and pale skin with green eyes, which is rare here. This routine went on for 7 fucking years. Whenever I asked what her job was, she changed the conversation or dodged the question. Never met her family either, or anyone that knew her. We used to hang out every weekend only to crash at her place. She had no family photos or anything. Her phone had nothing except my number. Whenever I needed her for something, she was always available. With her at my side, nothing bad happened to me. To be honest, people seemed to avoid me whenever she was with me. 7 fucking years, the same shit every time. We met on the bus at night, we get off the bus at my stop, walked a little and parted ways. Always saw her walking to the left, but I didn't give enough of a damn to find out where she worked, and I thought she was just ashamed of her job. Maybe a prostitute? Nope, because she was always free on weekends and whenever I needed something midweek. However, she always refused when I wanted her to meet my family or friends. It got so bad that my family thought I was just making shit up. After 7 years of the same shit, I got an offer for a much better job with amazing pay. When I told her, she said that this was maybe the last time we would see each other. I tell her we still have phones and computers to talk. Doesn't reply. We hang out the entire weekend for the last time. And when I'm leaving, she just wishes me luck. I never saw her again after that. It's been a year since I last saw her. A week after I was in my new job, I tried to call her. Her phone was always busy. When I visited her apartment, a month later, it was for rent. I checked where she always went to her job. The only places where she could have gotten employed were either a hospital or a McDonald's. The rest were houses and 2 small stores. I don't even know who she was or if she was even human, but it's thanks to her that I endured that shitty job without getting robbed and stopped being awkward. Still spooked because it's like someone just sent me some kind of angel that disappeared after I no longer needed it or something. P.S. Thank you, Rebecca.
When I was young, I had a bedroom that had a window which faced the backyard. Most nights, the backyard seemed to be wrapped in this light, like a soft spotlight shining across it. On nights I couldn't sleep, I'd like to cover myself up in a blanket to try and hide myself, and stare outside. There was a tree in the backyard. I liked looking at it. During cool summer nights with a strong breeze, the branches and leaves seemed to dance across. But mostly, I liked watching and staying hidden, because I always expected to see something I wasn't supposed to. I thought if they didn't know I was there, they would finally reveal themselves. The window was also low enough to the ground that I could slip out if I wanted to. But I never did. I just liked watching. On one particular night, the wind was particularly strong, and I remember how magical the leaves sounded as they were pushed back and forth. My eyelids were growing really heavy, and I was just on the verge of falling asleep when I noticed something that immediately woke me up. It looked like a kid was in the backyard, and he seemed to be running and jumping around, like he was playing. Despite the light that covered the backyard, I couldn't make out any details, like it was a shadow. After watching it with excitement for a while, I saw it run towards the tree, climb up, and sit on a branch. Suddenly, my dad bursts into my bedroom, swinging the door open with a loud bang. I turned to face him, uncovering myself from the blankets, and he had a look of shock on his face. Apparently, he couldn't sleep either, was looking outside, and thought it was me. Never saw the shadow thing again, but watched every night until we moved away.
Some true paranormal experiences for you guys. Story 1. Be me like 14 hanging out with my cousin at my grandma's house. We were like hyper kids who would laugh and destroy everything. My grandma is a Jehovah's Witness. We were jumping around on the couch in the computer room acting stupid, and I started throwing some of her watchtower papers because I was atheist. All of a sudden, I see this little gremlin-looking thing pop out of the book screen and disappear, while all the pages looked like they were blowing like a gust of wind just happened. My cousin is still laughing like she doesn't even notice, while I'm just staring at her like what the fuck with a blank face. Asking her, "Did you see that?" She said she did, but I'm not sure if she did. Story 2. My mom and I go to visit my grandma. My grandma and her boyfriend own a bunch of land and rent trailers and built a cabin out there. The place is like in a huge canyon, with a bunch of pine trees and a small lake. The town has had a bunch of violent revolts of Indians and cowboys, so my step-grandpa asks if we want to go to the end of the forest. We are like, yeah, and he says that there is a rock formation that looks like it could be a cave or has gold in it. So we get there and walking around, and my mom is terrified of snakes. I find this little baby one that is half dead and pick it up with a stick, and she's freaking out. It's starting to become sunset. While we walk around, my mom says these stones look like a grave site, and I agree. My grandma and her boyfriend start walking back to the van while we are behind. I have this urge to look to my right, and I see this white entity floating above the ground through the forest. It wasn't going up and down like it was walking. It wasn't solid like it was a blanket. It just floated a good 5 minutes and then disappeared like it went into the tree. I go into the van, not saying shit, thinking I see shit in my peripheral all the time and am a major skeptic. So I'm like, Mom. She's like, yes, Anon, what's wrong? I'm like, I think I saw something. Okay, tell me what you saw. She looks freaked out too. In my head, I'm like, there is no way she saw it too. I tell her that I saw something white, and it had to be a ghost. We freak out and get all teary-eyed. Later that night, it starts raining. We are sitting on the porch, and we see this glow come from where we just were go up and down. My grandma says she's never seen that before. Could have just been the lamps from the lake. The cabin has no blinds, so I'm left on the couch while my mom sleeps with her boyfriend. I'm like, fuck that, start crying, and tell my mom to sleep with me on the couch. I want to go back, because that is definitely a haunted place, and somewhere I can see the Milky Way clearly, but spooky. My grandma also said how she was calling for her boyfriend one day because she thought someone was there but was just some dude in cowboy clothing that looked like he was digging outside who disappeared. Also, she saw this guy sitting in the restaurant with one of the owners, and when she spoke with the owner about the guy, the owner was like, "What guy?" Another time when we spent the night there, we saw these satellites that would change position and speed. Then that night, it looked like someone was taking pictures from outside the trailer, like flashes of light. My explanation is that I'm so desensitized from space and darkness that my mind couldn't comprehend it and has to get used to it.
Friend asks if I can help him take care of his grandpa since his parents are on holiday. Say, okay, why not? Tells me he didn't want to be alone with him because his grandpa's mind has basically gone sour. The house is a massive Victorian house. Those things are huge and cold, Brit here. In room with his grandpa and friend, he starts saying, "Dead, dead, dead, dead." Friend laughs, as he knows his grandpa is nutty. He points at me, "You're dead, cellar," smiles with his old man teeth. Friend keeps laughing, and I feign a laugh because I'm a coward. Friend's bright idea, let's go down into the cellar and see the ghosts. I agree because why not? It'll be fun. That's my idea of fun. Go downstairs, then down another flight of stairs. Kitchen downstairs looks like it's stuck in the 80s. His parents obviously don't take care of the place, except where the grandpa stays. Upstairs kitchen and bathroom. We go in the cellar, and I shit you not, the door locks. Figure it's a latch. I try pushing it. Friend laughs more since he's obviously used to the house. Leads me down. It's all dusty. Some tools and some creepy little door that looks like it's made for midgets. Wall beside the door was obviously knocked down, so there's no need for the door. It's just a huge dirty sheet covering the room that was supposed to be behind the tiny door. Like typical horror story fashion, lights go off, loud screaming behind the sheet. Friend makes a noise like a startled pig. I laugh, thinking it's his friend behind the sheet. Then he grabs hold of me. Screaming goes on for 5 minutes and we're sitting down near the locked door. I lean backwards on the door. It opens. We both run out of the house. Never knew if it was a friend of his scaring us. Never really mention it again, as we more or less stopped seeing each other, often. His grandpa is long dead now, though, and the house is derelict, and I have an urge to break in and go into the cellar again. Might do it with more than 3 friends and record it, although scary shit never happens when you record. The memory has only become more vivid now, and this happened 2 years ago, but it was probably just a prank after all.
Back in the early 90s when I was a teenager, I was almost abducted one night while riding my bicycle home from a friend's house. The guy had just gotten off the exit of the highway as I rode past it. He crept beside me for about 1/4 mile. I didn't think much of it until he pulled in the parking lot I had cut through behind me. I remember at this point I looked in his eye and knew. I cut through a row of cars as he jumped out of his car and ran at me. I pushed past him, screaming, "Fuck you!" And as I did, he hit me in the back of the head with something. I made it out onto the street, which was a one-way, and never looked back. I rode so fast that the pedals couldn't keep up with the wheels on the bike. I remember getting to my house, stepping off the bike, and my knees buckled. I had snuck out of the house, so I had to sneak back in, and I couldn't tell my parents. Almost a week later, I saw a clip of security camera film of the man on the news wanted in association with kidnapping, Chris Chan, and murder.
Be 14. Live out in the middle of nowhere hill country, Central California. Meth for miles. Not even a gas station in my town. The nearest is 20 miles away. Friend and I went hiking down to the riverbed, implying flowing water in Cali. Have to pass through a few fields and pastures to get down to the riverbed. Come up over one hill. Good overlook of sheep pasture. See old, hunched over man by tree and tractor, wearing blue ball cap. Like I said, big, open, overview of field/pasture. Nowhere for someone to hide. He sees us, starts yelling about private property. We run. As we get a little way across the hill, he makes it up it. Except now he's young, tall, thin, and wearing a cowboy hat. Tells us we have to leave, we shouldn't be there, etc. We act like we're leaving. He goes back downhill. We circle back. Old man again. No sign of young guy. Nowhere for him to hide. We freak out and find another way to the riverbed.
B12, school camp. We sleep in separated cottages, each for around 4 people. We decide we're going to try to summon ghosts with the people from our cottage. At night, when teachers are asleep, about 11 o'clock, we sit on the floor and plan how it will go. There's a big 4 lanterns-based lamp planted in the dirt in the middle of the camp, and only the light from it that escapes through the gaps in the closed window of our cottage is our light source. To bring the mood, we try to summon some random dead celebs for a while by forming a circle, holding hands together, closing eyes for a while and saying a bunch of spooky stuff, which just brings random giggles and no ghosts. After about 20 minutes, someone jokes that we invoke someone's great-grandparents. Everyone gets serious, and we actually try and focus. A girl from our group whispers the name of her long-dead ancestors. We close our eyes. While our eyes are closed, there can be heard some vehicles from the distance. Only the road around the camp is quite a long trip away. We open our eyes. We soothe our breathing. The vehicle sound fades away. Suddenly, a shadow that was cast by the closed window morphs into stag antlers. There's no way anything from outside could do that to the shadows inside. The shadow crooks and moves around on the wall. It stops and starts to quickly widen and grow all across the room. Everyone screams and gets the hell out. No one else was outside. It's quiet again.
Be old. Be 18 once. Be Y camp counselor. Get assigned a group of snotty 6-year-olds. There's a quiet girl who hardly speaks, never causes trouble, seems a loner. Whole camp takes kids to Fort Mifflin in Delaware, Civil War fort. Never been there before, know nothing about it. Sit with the girl on the bus. She's acting normal. She asks where we're going. I tell her. She has no idea what I'm talking about. Tour guides take kids in small groups to various parts of the fort. Our groups turn to tour the casemates, cool old bunkers beneath the fort. We head down the sort of claustrophobic stairs. Girl squeezing my hand, little nails in my palm. Get to casemate 11. Always quiet girl, goes nuclear, seizure-like fit, screaming, "There's a dead man here! There's a dead man here! He's looking at me!" Leave the rest of my group with my assistant. Take the girl topside. She eventually calms down. Won't answer any questions about it. Asks to go sit on the bus. Never speaks about it again. Much later, learn a Union Army deserter was kept in solitary down there for a while before he was hung on sight. Years later, spooky TV shows start visiting that specific casemate for their ghost hunts. My face when ghosts are real.
Be hiking in Morocco and camping in the desert with friends. Set up tents at night in a deep valley far from any village. See hundreds of people walking in the distance with torches and lanterns, singing and laughing. Some of them reach us and offer us cakes and tea. Sing and dance all night. Others keep walking in the same direction. Wake up in the morning. Terrible headache, throw up some kind of goo. Feel like there's glue in my eyes. Others feel the same. Look into the distance. Everyone is gone. See our footprints made yesterday over a dune and leading to our campsite. Not a single footprint visible anywhere else. No trace anyone ever came. Despite all the weird things the desert can do to you, mass hallucination at night is certainly not part of it.
Not really fucked up, but I met a guy while I was in the military that was pretty weird. Gave me the creeps. He seemed like he had no emotion, did not know how to connect with people, and seemed dumb as hell when you talked to him. I just knew him through a friend, but my friend would say the guy was really smart, like write code, build computers, write programs and stuff like that. My friend would joke that the guy didn't know how to speak people, he just spoke computer. Anyways, one time we were on ship, and one of the urinals was busted, so someone put up an out-of-order don't use sign, and of course, it being the military, at least 3 people pissed in it, and someone threw in sunflower seeds. Fast forward 2 or 3 days later, piss is still in the urinal and so is sunflower seeds. Staff sergeant is furious because of sunflower seeds and says we can't go to chow until someone cleans it up. Some guy tries using a spoon to get seeds out of pisser. Kind of works, but can't reach the bottom. Another guy gets 2 long pieces of plastic and uses them as chopsticks to get the seeds. It works. Fuck yeah chow in a few minutes. Creepy guy is just standing there with everyone watching a guy use makeshift chopsticks to get seeds out. It was kind of fun watching. It was like a game. Maybe like 2 minutes from being done and weird guy just yells, "Fuck this shit, it's taking too long," and dunks his hand in and starts taking the seeds out. Everyone is just looking at each other. He throws the last seed in the container we had, stands up and says, "Fuck it, let's go to chow." Walks to sink, barely washes his hands, then leaves. For some reason, this scared me more than other people on ship. Scarier than guys that would fight over any little thing.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.